afternoon, boys and girls. Welcome to Headlights and Highbeams. Today, we will be replacing a fender. See? Broken. Not broken. And this one came off of that car over there. So you can see all cars are modular. There's all little pieces that fit together like a puzzle. So we're going to take this puzzle piece off today and replace it with this piece. R&R of a fender on Headlights and Highbeams. So now we're moving on to the repair and replacement, R&R. As you see, I am Angela, but also I am Chick Mechanic. Chick Mechanic. And we are now going to pull off the fender and replace it with a new fender. So how we take this off, remember it's like a jigsaw puzzle. If you're working in a real shop, you would have air tools. Air tools make everything go faster. This is manually, so it takes a little bit longer. And you just remove these bolts. And is this not fabulous? This is a magnetic, see these are magnets, magnetic tray, and these are the bolts that stick to it. Fabulous! And then you just go through and take the top bolts off. Top bolts are out. So now if you look, okay, these are from the other car. This will be from this fender. So I'll keep these on this side. Those are from the other side. And those are the bolts that are on top. In order to take this piece out, it's attached to all kinds of things. So you kind of look at here, here, and here. Got those out. Doesn't move. So it's obviously attached to other things. You look down, it's attached to this and this. This is the headlight, the headlamp. So if you take these out, different wrench. So now in this tray, so these bolts that were on the fender are different than the bolts that are holding the headlight in. So we're going to put those in a different place. So when you go to replace all of this stuff, you have a clue where it came from, which is imperative. Because all of a sudden you have a buttload of fasteners, and if you don't know where they came from, it kind of sucks. And see, if you had air tools, whoops, that would go so much quicker than doing it manually. Here, let's look at these. This fastener is what fastened the headlight on. This fastener is what fastened the actual fender on. See the difference? So you need to remember what came from where, because it kind of, it makes a difference. This is meant for one thing, this is meant for another. This has got a lock washer and a regular washer. This has got a fixed washer. Different, same bolt, different purposes. So that's why you separate them so you know where they came from. Okay, so that's those two. And now, if you look at this, you'd think that the headlight would come off, right? Obviously it doesn't. So something is holding this in place so that we can't get this off. So it's the puzzle. You need to remember, okay, so this piece needs to come off. We need to get this off. And look, there's a little piece right here. It's a trim piece that needs to come off. This trim piece has got a fastener right here. So in order to get this trim piece off, you have to take this fastener off right here. And keep it separate. And poof, trim piece. And now look, there's a bolt here and there's a bolt here. So you think this is off, but there's actually two pieces hiding under the trim piece. Woohoo! Let's take those off. So the difference between a backyard mechanic and an actual mechanic is tools. Tools are the great equalizer. As you have the appropriate tools, I can do anything. I can do as much as any man because I have tools. A technician has specialty tools. That's what they spend their money on. They make the job easier. At a future date, I will give you a rundown of my toolbox, and you will be so impressed, because I'm impressed. Tools are the great equalizer, and they allow the technician to do a fabulous job because they have the appropriate tool. It helps. So if I didn't have a long socket, you'd be screwed. So this actually makes the job easier because I can do this without struggling. If you struggle, it costs you money. There we go. This is a deep socket. Wonderful tool, but if you look, the headlamp is, the fastener for this headlamp is recessed. I can't really reach it with a deep socket. So you need an extension, a specialty tool. Let's see what we got in the tool bag. We have the extendo, the semi-extendo, the mini extendo, and the wobbly extendo. If you look at, okay, check out these two. See how this one is square and this one is kind of not square? And it creates a wobbly effect. So these are specialty tools. So if you slap one of these bad boys on there, let's do this one. And now, okay, so you have the extended socket on there, you got the extension, bada bing, bada bam. There it is. Oh, come out, come out. Oh, and there you have it. There is the hidden bolt that you wouldn't find if you didn't have an extender, and a magnet would have made it easier. And bada bang, bada bam, there's the headlamp. Oh, here, let's pull this out. See how this is connected? These, it's not like the old headlights. This is how you remove, if you were to remove and replace a headlight, this is what a headlight looks like. Never touch this, because the grease from your fingers or the grease from off your gloves will get on the headlamp and it will cause it to fry, burn out, blow up. So you generally just go like this and hear it click. Did you hear it click? Okay. No. It did click. I can feel it. It clicked. And then you look at the back and you put it into the housing. You don't touch the light. Halogen lights are very sensitive to the grease or the oil on human hands. Okay, so this is all a unit. See, it's a unit. 2 lamps go to the headlight. See the wires? There's wires and there's wires. This is a low beam. When you flip it, this goes to high beams. The headlights and high beams. Get it? Headlights, high beams. Now, we took the 3 bolts off the top, and the headlight out, but it still doesn't move, right? So as a puzzle, we have to look where else is it attached. Can you see this right here, this bolt?
Yep.
So this is the door frame, and this is the fender that's attached in front of the door frame. So this is a bolt we need to take out. Go. Get out of there. Oh, there we are. Okay, so this bolt held it in. It's still not free. See, it moves, but it's not free. So obviously, the puzzle is still being held by something. Let's investigate. Okay, so we got that one, those three. Headlamp. Oh, we're gonna do the liner. So, we still have our puzzle. We're working on a puzzle. It's free up on top, but it's obviously being held down on the bottom. So we gotta look where it's being held. If you look inside, see this plastic? It's the plastic shielding that guards the motor, guards all of the engine compartment. So it's tied in. It's down there. See how it's moving? It's tied in to this, but it's separate. So you got to take this off in order to get this off. So we're going to remove everything that holds this to this. Now if you notice, see how there's a seam here, goes across here, and there's a seam here. So this right here is a separate piece. This is a separate piece. Because see the seam here? So we want this piece, right? So if we want this piece, this has got to come off. This piece is connected to this piece. We have to get this off. Hence the jigsaw puzzle. So give me a moment and I will disassemble and you'll see how it all is like a jigsaw puzzle. When I took the other fender off, I did break a bolt. Because in Wisconsin, rust is a corrosive force. If you do not compensate for a corrosive force, things break. So you use things like WD-40, penetrating oil, or lube. Lube is our friend. Specialty tools. Specialty tools rock. Okay, we got the wrench on this end, ratcheting wrench. Tell me that's not the shiznit. Lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. So as you're facing the fastener, look at the fastener. If you go to the left, counterclockwise, it's loose, loosening. Righty-tighty. If you're going to the right, clockwise, tightening. Lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. So this is where I broke it. Ooh, I broke my glove too. And I'm having a hard time accessing the bolts because of the distortion of what I made. And so it's a bit of a struggle. The broken part is not working as a real piece would because I've dented it, and so the fasteners that are holding it on aren't in the place where they would be otherwise. So right here is where it is dented in, and there's got to be a fastener in here, but I can't see it because of the distortion of the dent. Right here there's these two little plastic fasteners, and they've got these little prongs on them that you can't pry them out. They're like snapped into place. So you need something like this. See the angle on these? It makes it, when you grab it at an angle, it compresses it so you can pop those out of there. If you were just to have like a straight pliers, because this is curved, the geometry of it all just doesn't work. So this is the handy dandy specialty tool that makes the job get done easier. We are underneath the plastic shielding that goes in all the wheel wells of any car, and poof, then there's all these bolts that you need to access underneath the shielding. Get out the specialty pliers. And you squeeze. Ooh, and pull. Oh, here we go. So this is what I was talking about for the use of a specialty tool. This one I reefed on it too hard, and as you can see, it's still in here and it's broken because I didn't compress the edges firmly enough. Whereas this one, if you look at it, see how it has the little tabs still on it? This was where I squeezed it, compressed it, and it pulled off of there nice and easy. Whereas this one, when I pulled off on this one, it just gave. So this piece is being held on by these two little pieces of plastic. And now I broke one. Oops. So here's a moment for silent praise. Hallelujah! The fastener that's holding this whole stupid fender on is a star key. This is a star key. It's not a Phillips. It's not a regular screw. It's a star key screw. So this is definitely a specialty tool, and this is what's going to take the damn fender off. And now, the climax to our endeavor. Bada bing, bada bam! We have, oops, I'm caught. I have the, oh, here it is. See, look at how long this was. And then when you're looking at a screw, see, that's a star pattern. It's not a Phillips. It's not a regular slotted screw. It's a star key or a star screw. So yeah, that's why I couldn't get it off, little bastard. So we are now done. This is the broken fender. So the R&R, remove and replace, of a fender is now half done. The broken part is off, and I will be replacing it with the brand new fancy not broken part. So I will take a picture of that when I'm done, but you've got the A to Z of fender repair, and now I'll just do Z to A, and bada bing bada bam, and have a brand new fender on my car. Woohoo! Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again on Headlights and High Beams.